Why is composting important? Composting has a lot of benefits other than making you feel good about yourself. Imagine if you composted every day. You would take your trash out half as often as you do now. Your backyard would have some nice dirt, perfect for a small garden. You could sleep well at night knowing that you helped contribute to reducing the amount of waste going into landfills, and if everyone composted, then more than half of all landfill waste would be prevented. As of 2012, only 5% out of 36 million tons of all food waste in the United States was composted. The rest ended up in landfills. Space isn't the only issue in landfills. Methane gas is one of the main byproducts of landfill decomposition. Globally, between 30 and 70 million tons of methane gas are produced in landfills each year. Food waste in landfills is a major producer of methane gas when undergoing anaerobic decomposition, or decomposition without oxygen, and most of that gas is not used effectively. If doing aerobic composting, or composting with oxygen, CO2 gas will be produced instead, which absorbs 21 times less heat in the atmosphere than methane. In anaerobic compost with EM1 microbes, methane gas is produced, but in very small amounts. Landfill methane is different than the gases produced when composting because landfill methane is mixed with a higher variety of gases, which means that landfill methane used as an energy source causes even more pollution per kilowatt hour than natural gas. Thankfully, there are solutions to this problem. Curbside composting, run by either governments or companies, both nonprofit and for-profit, will pick up food scraps from households and use them in large-scale composting efforts. The local government in King County, Washington has put forth efforts to provide curbside food scrap pickup, and they have encountered success with their project. Citizens of King County have shown to be willing participants in composting their food waste via sorting it into bins that go out with their trash and recycling. San Francisco is also a leader in curbside compost collection services. 3 bins denote where different items should be sorted. 1 bin for recyclables, 1 bin for waste, and 1 bin for compostable items. This system is part of San Francisco's mandatory composting and recycling ordinance, which is a part of the city's goal of zero waste by 2020. In both examples, compost made through the curbside service has been used in places like home gardens and local farms, and these leaders of sustainability should be followed on a large scale. As you may know, aerobic composting has its limitations. Meat and dairy don't do well in these composting systems, and this type of composting still produces CO2 gas. However, there is a solution, bokashi. This type of composting is anaerobic and is made with EM1 microbes. We won't get too technical because all you have to do is Google it to find out the exact science behind it, but basically bokashi easily composts meat and dairy and can even eat its way through paper products in 2 weeks. Bokashi composting doesn't even produce a significant amount of methane gas in its anaerobic process. The only downside to bokashi composting is that the compost must be in a somewhat airtight container, but there are plenty of solutions to this problem. Bokashi compost also needs to be buried in the ground to completely transform it into soil. This may sound too good to be true, but it's the real deal. Combining bokashi with curbside composting services would theoretically reduce the amount of waste in landfills by over 50% and also significantly reduce the amount of greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. Thanks for watching!